Question 1. An Agile team is struggling with frequent interruptions and a high volume of unplanned work, impacting their ability to meet iteration commitments. Which Agile concept would be most effective in addressing this challenge? A. Value stream mapping. B. Work in progress, WIP, limits. C. Affinity estimating. D. Osmotic communication. Answer: B. Work in progress, WIP, limits. Work in progress, WIP, limits are a core concept from Kanban that help Agile teams manage flow by restricting the number of tasks or items being worked on simultaneously. By setting a maximum for ongoing tasks, the team can focus on completing existing work before starting new items, thereby reducing context switching and improving throughput. This directly addresses issues of frequent interruptions and unplanned work by forcing a conscious decision to finish current tasks. For example, if a team has a WIP limit of 3, they cannot pull a fourth item until one of the current 3 is completed. Remember, lowering WIP limits generally improves focus and reduces multitasking, leading to more predictable delivery. Question 2. A large organization is transitioning to Agile, and the product owner in one of the Scrum teams is consistently struggling to prioritize the backlog, often changing priorities mid-iteration. What is the most appropriate Agile coaching response to this situation? A. Recommend a different product owner who is more decisive. B. Facilitate a discussion with stakeholders to clarify the product vision and strategic goals. C. Advise the team to refuse any changes to the backlog once an iteration starts. D. Implement a strict change control board for all backlog modifications. Answer: B. Facilitate a discussion with stakeholders to clarify the product vision and strategic goals. The core issue here is often a lack of clear strategic direction or understanding of stakeholder needs, making backlog prioritization difficult for the product owner. Facilitating a discussion with stakeholders to refine the product vision and strategic goals provides the product owner with the necessary clarity and criteria to make consistent prioritization decisions. This approach aligns with Agile principles of collaboration and continuous alignment, empowering the product owner rather than simply replacing them or imposing rigid controls. For instance, if the strategic goal is to maximize user engagement, the product owner can then prioritize features directly contributing to that goal. Understanding the why behind the what is crucial for effective product backlog management. Question 3. During an iteration, a critical defect is discovered that directly impacts a feature already delivered to production in a previous iteration. What is the best Agile approach to handle this situation? A. Create a new user story for the defect and add it to the product backlog for the next iteration. B. Immediately stop current work, fix the defect, and then resume normal iteration activities. C. Escalate the issue to the project sponsor for a decision on priority and resource allocation. D. Treat the defect as a high-priority bug and integrate its resolution into the current iterations plan, if feasible, or as soon as possible. Answer: D. Treat the defect as a high-priority bug and integrate its resolution into the current iterations plan, if feasible, or as soon as possible. In Agile, critical defects found in production should be addressed with urgency due to their immediate impact on users and value delivery. The best approach is to treat it as a high-priority bug, similar to an urgent new requirement, and integrate its resolution into the current iterations plan if the team has capacity, or as the next top priority. This demonstrates responsiveness and maintains the quality of the delivered product, aligning with the Agile principle of responding to change over following a plan. For example, if the defect prevents users from logging in, the team should swarm on it rather than waiting for the next planned cycle. Always prioritize critical fixes to protect the value already delivered to the customer. Question 4. An Agile team is considering adopting a new tool for continuous integration. What is the most appropriate way for the team to decide on and implement this new tool? A. The Scrum Master should research and select the best tool for the team. B. The product owner should add tool selection as a high priority item to the product backlog. C. The team should collectively research, experiment with, and decide on the tool, perhaps through a short spike. D. The organization's IT department should dictate the approved tool for all teams. Answer: C. The team should collectively research, experiment with, and decide on the tool, perhaps through a short spike. Agile teams are self-organizing and empowered to make decisions about how they do their work, including tool selection, to maximize their effectiveness. Allowing the team to collectively research, experiment with, and decide on the tool fosters ownership, increases adoption, and ensures the chosen tool genuinely meets their needs. A spike is a time-boxed research or exploration task that helps answer a question or gain knowledge necessary to reduce uncertainty, making it an ideal approach for tool evaluation. For instance, the team might spend a day experimenting with 2 different CI tools before making a collective decision. Trusting the team to select their own tools enhances their autonomy and overall productivity. Question 5. Which of the following is a primary characteristic of a servant leader in an agile context? A. Directing the team on which tasks to complete and how to complete them. B. Shielding the team from all external communication and stakeholder interactions. C. Empowering the team, removing impediments, and fostering a collaborative environment. D. Ensuring strict adherence to the agile process without deviation. Answer: C. Empowering the team, removing impediments, and fostering a collaborative environment. A servant leader in an agile context focuses on serving the team's needs rather than controlling them. This involves empowering the team to make decisions, actively working to remove any obstacles or impediments that hinder their progress, and cultivating a supportive and collaborative atmosphere where the team can thrive. Unlike traditional management, the servant leader's role is to facilitate and support, enabling the team to be self-organizing and high-performing. For example, a servant leader might coach the team through a conflict or acquire necessary resources, rather than telling them what to do. The essence of servant leadership is to lead by supporting, helping the team achieve its full potential. Question 6. An agile team consistently experiences issues with integration and regression failures despite efforts to test thoroughly within each iteration. Which agile engineering practice would most effectively address this recurring problem? A. Pair programming. B. Test-driven development, TDD. C. Daily stand-ups. D. Story mapping. Answer: B. Test-driven development, TDD. Test-driven development, TDD, is an agile engineering practice where automated tests are written before the code itself, ensuring that all code written passes predefined tests. This practice leads to a robust suite of regression tests that are run frequently, immediately highlighting any breaks in existing functionality when new code is introduced. By focusing on red-green refactor, TDD proactively prevents many integration and regression failures, as any new code that breaks previous functionality is quickly identified and fixed. For example, before writing a login feature, the team first writes a test that expects a successful login, then writes the minimum code to pass that test. TDD fundamentally improves code quality and reduces future defects by building in quality from the start. Question 7. A new stakeholder has joined an agile project and is expressing concerns about the project's progress and scope without a clear understanding of the team's current work. What is the best way to address these concerns? A. Provide the stakeholder with a comprehensive Gantt chart and detailed project plan. B. Invite the stakeholder to the next daily stand-up meeting to observe. C. Share an information radiator, such as a physical or digital Kanban board or a burn-down chart, and explain its meaning. D. Schedule a one-on-one meeting with the stakeholder to explain agile principles. Answer: C. Share an information radiator, such as a physical or digital Kanban board or a burn-down chart, and explain its meaning. Information radiators are highly effective agile tools designed to provide transparent and immediate visibility into the team's progress and current status without requiring active inquiry. Sharing and explaining an information radiator like a Kanban board, showing work in progress and flow, or a burn-down chart, showing work remaining, directly addresses the stakeholders' concerns about progress and scope in an agile way. This promotes transparency and understanding, helping the new stakeholder quickly grasp the project's status in a visually accessible format. For instance, seeing tasks moving across a board from to do to done provides clear visual evidence of progress. Always leverage transparency to build trust and understanding with stakeholders. Question 8. During a sprint retrospective, the team identifies that a recurring impediment is external dependencies that frequently delay their work. What is the most effective approach for the Scrum Master to address this? A. Add the dependency management as a new story to the product backlog. B. Document the impediment and present it to senior management for resolution. C. Facilitate a meeting between the team and the external dependency providers to establish better communication channels and agreements. D. Advise the team to work around the dependencies by focusing on independent tasks. Answer: C. Facilitate a meeting between the team and the external dependency providers to establish better communication channels and agreements. A Scrum Master's role involves removing impediments that hinder the team's progress. When external dependencies are a recurring issue, the most effective approach is to directly address the root cause by facilitating communication and agreement with the external parties involved. This helps to establish clearer expectations, improve coordination, and build stronger working relationships that can prevent future delays. Simply documenting the issue or working around it doesn't solve the systemic problem. For example, the Scrum Master might arrange a session for the development team to clarify their needs with another department responsible for a shared service. Proactive engagement with external stakeholders is key to resolving systemic impediments. Question 9. An agile team is distributed across multiple time zones. Which communication technique would be most effective for ensuring shared understanding and strong collaboration for complex discussions? A. Rely primarily on asynchronous communication via email and chat. B. Schedule infrequent, long virtual meetings to cover all topics at once. C. Leverage video conferencing tools for regular, focused, and interactive virtual meetings. D. Appoint a single team member to be the communication liaison for all interactions. Answer: C. Leverage video conferencing tools for regular, focused, and interactive virtual meetings. For distributed agile teams, especially those dealing with complex discussions, rich communication channels are essential to bridge the geographical gap and foster shared understanding. Video conferencing tools provide visual cues, immediate feedback, and a sense of presence that closely mimics in-person interaction, making them highly effective for complex, collaborative discussions. While asynchronous communication has its place, it lacks the immediacy and richness needed for nuanced conversations. For example, a daily stand-up conducted via video conference allows team members to see each other's expressions and react in real time. Prioritizing synchronous, rich communication like video calls helps overcome the challenges of distributed teams and maintain strong collaboration. Question 10. A product owner consistently struggles to articulate the why behind product backlog items to the development team, leading to a lack of motivation and understanding of the business value. What agile technique would best help the product owner improve this? A. Requiring the team to only pull items with fully detailed requirements. B. Encouraging the use of user stories with clear as a role, I want, goal, so that, benefit, structure. C. Implementing a strict policy that no questions can be asked about backlog items after refinement. D. Conducting a formal business case presentation for each user story. Answer: B. Encouraging the use of user stories with clear as a role, I want, goal, so that, benefit, structure. The as a role, I want, goal, so that, benefit format for user stories is specifically designed to articulate the why or the business value of a feature, alongside who it's for and what they want to achieve. This structure directly helps the product owner convey the benefit, fostering a deeper understanding and motivation within the development team. It moves beyond just listing tasks, focusing instead on the value delivered to an end user or stakeholder. For instance, instead of develop login screen, it becomes, as a user, I want to log in securely, so that I can access my personalized dashboard. Always focus on the benefit part of the user story to ensure the why is crystal clear to the team. Question 11. What is the primary purpose of a spike in an agile project? A. To address and resolve high-priority defects immediately. B. To explore an unknown area, answer a question, or gain necessary knowledge before committing to development. C. To accelerate the development of a critical feature within a short time frame. D. To conduct a comprehensive external audit of the project's progress and quality. Answer: B. To explore an unknown area, answer a question, or gain necessary knowledge before committing to development. A spike is a short, time-boxed technical or research investigation, often used in agile methodologies, particularly extreme programming, XP. Its primary purpose is to explore an unknown area, answer a specific technical or design question, or gain knowledge necessary to reduce uncertainty before a team can confidently estimate or develop a feature. Spikes are crucial for managing technical risk and ensuring that complex tasks are properly understood. For example, a team might use a spike to determine the feasibility of integrating with a new API before committing to building a feature that relies on it. Think of a spike as a small experiment designed to learn and inform future development. Question 12. During an iteration review, a key stakeholder expresses dissatisfaction with a recently completed feature, stating it does not meet their true need, despite matching the written acceptance criteria. What agile principle has likely been overlooked? A. Self-organizing teams. B. Sustainable pace. C. Customer collaboration over contract negotiation. D. Technical excellence. Answer: C. Customer collaboration over contract negotiation. The agile principle of customer collaboration over contract negotiation emphasizes continuous, close interaction with customers and stakeholders throughout the project lifecycle. If a feature matches written acceptance criteria but still doesn't meet the true need, it suggests that the collaboration was insufficient or that the feedback loop was not effective enough to uncover the underlying need. Agile prioritizes working with customers to evolve solutions rather than just adhering rigidly to predefined specifications. For instance, regular demos and informal conversations during development are more valuable than relying solely on formal documentation. Always aim for active, ongoing dialogue with your customer to truly understand and deliver what they need. Question 13. An agile team decides to conduct a 5 whys exercise during their retrospective. What is the main goal of this technique? A. To identify 5 different solutions for a recurring problem. B. To determine the 5 most valuable features to develop next. C. To progressively uncover the root cause of a problem by repeatedly asking why. D. To assign responsibility for a problem to specific team members. Answer: C. To progressively uncover the root cause of a problem by repeatedly asking why. The 5 whys is a simple yet powerful root cause analysis technique commonly used in agile retrospectives and lean practices. Its main goal is to go beyond the surface symptoms of a problem by repeatedly asking why. Typically 5 times, but it can be more or less, until the underlying root cause is identified. This helps the team address the systemic issue rather than just temporary fixes. For example, if a build repeatedly fails, asking why might lead from tests are not run to developers forget to run tests to there's no automated check-in hook and ultimately to a lack of continuous integration tooling. Focus on digging deeper to find the actual source of the problem. Question 14. What is the primary benefit of co-locating an agile team? A. Reduced need for documentation and formal communication. B. Improved osmotic communication and team cohesion. C. Easier individual performance tracking and management. D. Elimination of all project risks and impediments. Answer: B. Improved osmotic communication and team cohesion. Co-location, meaning team members work together in the same physical space, significantly enhances osmotic communication, where information flows naturally and informally among team members. This allows for quick, spontaneous discussions, overheard conversations, and immediate problem solving, leading to a much richer and more efficient flow of information. Beyond communication, co-location also greatly contributes to stronger team cohesion, trust, and a shared sense of purpose. For instance, overhearing a conversation about a technical challenge might prompt another team member to offer a solution. While it doesn't eliminate risks or documentation, co-location vastly improves the natural flow of information and strengthens team bonds. Question 15. A new agile team is consistently underestimating their work, leading to incomplete stories at the end of iterations. What is the most appropriate first step to help them improve their estimation accuracy? A. Implement a more detailed requirements gathering process. B. Require team members to commit to individual story points. C. Encourage the team to use relative sizing techniques and frequently review their velocity. D. Assign an experienced estimator to review all team estimates. Answer: C. Encourage the team to use relative sizing techniques and frequently review their velocity. Agile estimation focuses on relative sizing, e.g., using story points with techniques like planning poker, rather than absolute time, as it accounts for complexity and uncertainty more effectively. More importantly, frequently reviewing the team's velocity, the amount of work, in story points, they have consistently completed in past iterations, provides empirical data for future planning. This self-correction mechanism allows the team to learn from their past performance and make more realistic commitments over time. For example, if a team's average velocity over the last 3 iterations is 25 story points, they can use this to plan the next iteration's capacity. Rely on the team's historical performance to improve future predictions. Question 16. What is the primary purpose of an iteration review, or sprint review in Scrum? A. To allow the team to self-inspect and adapt their processes and practices. B. To demonstrate the completed increment of work to stakeholders and gather feedback. C. To decompose product backlog items into smaller, actionable tasks. D. To plan the work for the upcoming iteration and commit to a forecast. Answer: B. To demonstrate the completed increment of work to stakeholders and gather feedback. The primary purpose of an iteration review is to inspect the increment and adapt the product backlog. This involves demonstrating the completed, potentially shippable product increment to key stakeholders, including the product owner, customers, and management. It's a crucial feedback loop where stakeholders can see the progress, provide input, and collaborate on future product direction. For instance, the team might demo a new reporting feature and get immediate feedback on its usability. This event ensures that the team is building the right product and continuously aligning with stakeholder needs and expectations. Question 17. An agile team member is frequently pulled into meetings or tasks by other departments, significantly disrupting their focus on iteration work. What is the best agile principle for the Scrum Master to remind the organization about? A. Sustainable pace. B. Face-to-face conversation. C. Customer collaboration. D. Self-organizing teams. Answer: A. Sustainable pace. The Agile principle of sustainable pace emphasizes that development should be maintained at a constant, realistic pace indefinitely, avoiding burnout and ensuring long-term productivity and quality. When a team member is constantly pulled away, it disrupts their focus, makes their pace unsustainable, and impacts the team's ability to deliver consistently. The Scrum Master should advocate for protecting the team's capacity and focus to ensure they can maintain this sustainable pace. For example, constant interruptions prevent deep work and lead to errors. Reminding the organization to protect the team's focus helps ensure consistent delivery and team well-being. Question 18. In an Agile project, when is the most appropriate time to define the detailed requirements for a feature? A. All requirements should be fully defined at the project's inception before any development begins. B. Detailed requirements are defined just in time, as the team is about to start working on the feature. C. The product owner defines all detailed requirements independently, prior to any planning. D. Detailed requirements are only defined after the feature has been partially developed. Answer: B. Detailed requirements are defined just in time, as the team is about to start working on the feature. Agile methodologies embrace adaptive planning and prioritize responding to change, which means detailed requirements are defined just in time, JIT, rather than upfront. This approach, often through backlog refinement or grooming, ensures that the team works with the most current understanding of needs and avoids investing effort in detailing features that may later change or become irrelevant. It allows for flexibility and incorporates late-breaking insights. For instance, the team might only fully detail the top few items in the product backlog for the upcoming iteration, leaving lower priority items more vague. This last responsible moment approach reduces waste and increases responsiveness. Question 19. An Agile coach notices that the team is becoming overly reliant on the coach to resolve every conflict and make all decisions. Which aspect of Agile team performance is most hindered by this behavior? A. Value-driven delivery. B. Adaptive planning. C. Self-organization. D. Continuous improvement. Answer: C. Self-organization. Self-organization is a cornerstone of Agile teams, meaning the team members decide how to best accomplish their work and manage their own processes, rather than being directed. When a team relies on an external coach for every conflict or decision, it directly hinders their ability to self-organize and mature. The coach's role is to facilitate and guide, enabling the team to resolve their own issues and make their own choices, ultimately fostering greater autonomy and effectiveness. For example, instead of deciding for the team, the coach might facilitate a conflict resolution session. Empowering the team to solve their own problems is vital for building a truly agile and effective unit. Question 20. Which of the following is not a common characteristic of an Agile contract? A. Fixed scope with variable time and cost. B. Emphasis on collaborative partnership. C. Clear definition of acceptance criteria for deliverables. D. Mechanisms for frequent feedback and adjustments. Answer: A. Fixed scope with variable time and cost. Traditional contracts often fix the scope upfront, leading to variable time and cost as changes inevitably occur. In contrast, Agile contracts typically prioritize a flexible scope to accommodate evolving requirements and learning, while potentially fixing time or cost for a defined period or increment. Agile contracts emphasize collaborative partnership, rather than adversarial relationships, and include clear acceptance criteria and mechanisms for frequent feedback and adjustments to ensure value delivery. For example, a time and materials contract or a fixed price per iteration contract allows for flexibility in scope based on ongoing collaboration. Agile contracts aim to align incentives and foster adaptability, directly contrasting fixed scope agreements. Question 21. A project has several highly interdependent components being developed by different Agile teams. What is the most effective strategy for managing these dependencies and ensuring successful integration? A. Each team should work independently and integrate only at the very end of the project. B. Establish a dedicated integration team responsible for all cross-team integration activities. C. Implement frequent, potentially daily, integration of work from all teams, possibly leveraging continuous integration. D. Create detailed interface specifications for each component and enforce strict adherence. Answer, C. Implement frequent, potentially daily, integration of work from all teams, possibly leveraging continuous integration. In Agile, particularly for interdependent components, continuous integration is paramount. Frequent, ideally daily, integration of code and features from all teams significantly reduces the risk of large, complex integration issues accumulating until the end of the project. This practice, often supported by continuous integration, CI, tools, ensures that conflicts are detected and resolved early, maintaining a constantly working system. For example, if two teams are working on related modules, they should integrate their code into a shared repository multiple times a day. Integrating early and often minimizes integration headaches and promotes a healthy system. Question 22. A team completes an iteration and finds they have overcommit, leaving several stories unfinished. What should be the primary focus during the subsequent iteration planning? A. Increasing the number of story points estimated for future iterations. B. Reducing the scope of the next iteration based on their actual velocity. C. Assigning blame for the overcommitment to specific team members. D. Requiring team members to work overtime to complete more stories. Answer, B. Reducing the scope of the next iteration based on their actual velocity. When a team overcommits and leaves stories unfinished, the most practical and agile-aligned response for subsequent planning is to adjust their forecast based on their empirically observed velocity. This means reducing the scope, number of stories/story points, planned for the next iteration to a more realistic and sustainable level. Agile emphasizes empirical process control, using what was actually delivered as a guide for what can be delivered. For example, if the team planned 40 points but only completed 30, they should plan closer to 30 points for the next iteration. Planning within the team's proven capacity promotes predictability and prevents recurring overcommitment and burnout. Question 23. An agile team is performing well, but the product owner is frequently absent from refinement sessions and daily stand-ups, leading to delays and misinterpretations of requirements. What is the best course of action for the Scrum Master? A. Take over the product owner's responsibilities to keep the team moving. B. Schedule mandatory attendance for the product owner at all Agile events. C. Coach the product owner on their role and emphasize the importance of consistent availability and collaboration. D. Reprioritize the backlog to only include items the team understands without product owner input. Answer, C. Coach the product owner on their role and emphasize the importance of consistent availability and collaboration. The Scrum Master's role includes coaching all members of the Scrum team, including the product owner, on Agile values, principles, and practices. A product owner's frequent absence or lack of engagement directly impedes the team's ability to refine the backlog, understand requirements, and deliver value. The most effective approach is to coach the product owner, explaining the impact of their absence on the team's efficiency and emphasizing the critical importance of their consistent availability and active collaboration in Agile ceremonies and ongoing communication. For instance, the Scrum Master might illustrate how decisions are delayed without the product owner's immediate input. Empowering the product owner through coaching is key to resolving such challenges. Question 24. A Scrum team has just completed their sprint review. What is the next event in the Scrum framework? A. Sprint retrospective. B. Daily Scrum. C. Sprint planning. D. Product backlog refinement. Answer, A. Sprint retrospective. In the Scrum framework, the sprint review is followed immediately by the sprint retrospective. The sprint review focuses on inspecting the product increment and adapting the product backlog, whereas the sprint retrospective focuses on inspecting the process and adapting the team's way of working. This sequence allows the team to learn from both their product development and their process before embarking on the next sprint's planning. For instance, after showing off the product, the team then reflects on how they built it and how they can improve for the next time. Always remember the order of Scrum events: planning, daily Scrum, ongoing, review, retrospective. Question 25. An Agile team is preparing for a new release and wants to involve key stakeholders in prioritizing features. Which Agile planning technique would be most suitable for this activity? A. Release planning. B. Iteration planning. C. Daily stand-up. D. Acceptance test-driven development, ATDD. Answer: A. Release planning. Release planning in Agile focuses on determining which features or user stories will be included in an upcoming release, often spanning multiple iterations, and involves key stakeholders in the prioritization process. This is the strategic level of planning where stakeholders provide input on value and priority to help shape the release content. In contrast, iteration planning is more tactical, focusing on the work for a single iteration. For example, a release planning session might involve stakeholders voting on features using a technique like Moscow, must have, should have, could have, won't have. Engage stakeholders early and often in release planning to ensure alignment and maximize value delivery.